Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 7, Fabrication. To briefly recap last episode, we made it a point to renovate the base. Our base was originally just some steel temporary structures that were gross, and I wanted to move away from that. So here we have iteration 2. I'm sure I will further iterate on this design, but obviously it has a lot of benefits over the last style of flammable and crummy. This episode, I have some plans. The plans are this. I want to take out the sun blocker before the sun blocker blocks out my beautiful sun. And for that, I'm going to set myself up with a little bit of a mining tunnel. And I'll demonstrate how this works. I'd also like to try to do as many of the rituals that I can now that they're coming off cooldown. So if you take a look here, I can do an invitation ritual in just moments, and I'll be doing that. And then afterwards, a leader's speech. I don't have anyone to convert, but with any luck, that will change as well. Another thing I wanted to do is to add some additional security. So this is a very, very basic and not very strong way of setting up security for your base. But with that said, it's how I'm going to be setting it up, which is just some walls and barricades and then slapping 2 turrets. I know, very, very rudimentary, but this is only iteration 1.0. Another thing that I'm going to want to do is these boomlopes here. Yeah, they're eating my crops. So I don't really have any weak weapons per se. So what I'm going to do instead is shoot at them at max distance and hope to flush them away. And it worked. Even though I hit that boomlope 3 times in a row, it's gotten flushed out of the farm field, because if I killed it on the crops, it would probably burn everything to the ground. And, well, I don't want that. Ooh, cargo pods of wool. Awesome. All right, so here's one of the 2 boomlopes, and I'll go for the other one. Eventually, when I am rich, I will be creating an entire perimeter around the farm for 2 reasons. One, to keep animals like this from eating my crop, and the second one, to keep slaves contained. But that is a lofty thing that I'll work on much later, I think. I would also like to... let me have Slave 2 do this. I would also like to start to add some steel around my base for keeping the filth out. But here is the turrets I wanted to set up. So I'll have one on the west, one on the south, and I guess east is next. I'll put it around here. So the reason for this concrete area is to try to reduce the amount of filth that builds up at the base. So the way filth works is when you're walking around an area that is not clean, your feet build up filth, and you sort of drop that filth wherever you walk. So by adding steel out here, you increase the chance that the sand generates outdoors rather than indoors, mucking up our hallways. Now, of course, with a stockpile that is not walled up or floored up, that is sort of the primary problem. The filth buildup around here is immense, but I will try to add some steel there as well. Another way to limit it is to forbid these 2 doors. These 2 doors will eventually lead to other structures, because this isn't the full footprint of the base, but for now I can keep them forbidden. There was another question in the comments asking whether or not I can use a chimney as a means to heat the base, and you can. And here's how to do it. You would want vents added, and then to roof off the chimney to feed the heat that's generated from cooling the food to warm in the rest of the base. It's not very efficient, but it's free because I'm already having the coolers warm the area behind it, so we might as well use some of that heat to our benefit. Another thing I'd like to do this episode is to get the fabrication bench going. And that's a bit of a task. The reason it's a bit of a task is I'm going to need advanced components. And, well, one of the problems with advanced components is, well, I don't have any. And the way to get them would be to trade, to raid, or to go into an ancient danger, which is the method of choice for me. So later on, once I go into the ancient danger, I'll be giving a bit of a primer about how to do ancient dangers safely. All right, so Bunny is going to continue digging this tunnel in order to deal with that sun blocker. I only have a few days left to do that. And Trustin is paving up all the areas around that are generating filth. Let's check. Oh, Bunny just keeps stopping. That's okay. Another way to sort of fix this is if I don't need to use this part of the stockpile where the soft sand is, just to remove it from the stockpile so that people don't walk there. And that way we can try to keep the base a little bit more clean so that our slaves don't have so much cleaning to do. We're getting a lot of chunks here. And we've got a quest here. It is to go into a village terminal and to hack their terminal for information about the Archotech staff that we want to have as a relic. Well, okay. Sounds good to me. We'll be doing that a little bit later on. Okay, Trustin is just about flooring up the things that need to be floored. It's also increasing the cleanliness, which makes it this, not a great hospital room, but better than it was before. And I'm going to force Bunny into finishing this mining job, even though she probably wants to sleep soon. Yep. Trado in the camp. 6 people guarding McKinnon. Or McKinney. Good miner. She's okay. For a tribal, that is. I'll consider it. I'm going to leave that there for now, because I have a lot of other tasks pending. And I don't want to overextend myself. So now that the tunnel is just about done, the other thing I'm going to want to do is to set up a little steel barricade here for some basic cover when I'm clearing out the sunblock. So Zleb, let's have you go haul some steel. And once Bunny rests up tomorrow morning, I'll have her destroy this sunblocker. Using the tiny little tunnel that I made. So now that the chimney is roofed up and I have vents and an open door, the heat produced by this chimney here. As you can see, it's very hot, but it's spreading around the rest of the base, allowing us to make the rest of the base warm. Another thing I want to do is to move some of the chunks here so that A, they can't be offered as cover to enemies coming in, but also just to make room for our construction project. So call this chunks 1. And chunks 2. Very straightforward. Trustin's getting some border security. And the last one is probably going to be up here. Let's just build it. 1, 2, 3. Like that. With the uranium turrets. Perfect. All right. Bunny, it is go time for the blocker. But before I do that, let's have slave 1, or actually Trustin. Let's have Trustin haul the steel out of the way. So when I shoot at the sunblocker, the pikeman is going to wake up. And it's going to try to get a line of sight on me. But as you can see, due to the cave and all, it's not able to acquire me as a target very easily. And I can tuck myself behind the barricade and take the pikeman out from relative cover. So the pikeman's chance to hit me is 5.4% because of the barricade and the 2 compacted steel nodes in the way. And then my chance to hit the pikeman is 47%. So yeah, it could get extremely lucky and hit me for like a miracle shot, but it's not that likely. I'll take my chances. And it's down, and now all that's left is to blow up the sunblocker. Now, there is a caveat here. When the sunblocker's gone, all the turrets around it are going to take shots at me. So what would be best, which I can't currently afford, but what would be best is for me to throw like a frag grenade at it that has a bit of a fuse timer so that I can get to cover in time, but I don't have frag grenades. And frag grenades are a little bit out of my ability to make just yet because I don't have biofuel refining, because you need chem fuel to make frag grenades. But one thing I could do is set myself up, not a steel wall, set myself up with a little bit more security. And I'm going to allow that just to try to make Bunny as safe as she can be doing this. So I'll set her up with an unrestricted, build that little barricade, and that will reduce the chance that they'll shoot her by even more. Put her back on a void. Keep an eye on it. And it should be going down now. It's down. So this turret's chance to hit her is like 2%. She didn't get hit. And now the sunblocker's gone, and I didn't get hurt at all. There we go. And what's left here can help to shoot any invaders, because they'll shoot any humanoid or insect coming to mess with me, not just, you know, my people. So it's actually kind of handy. All right. Next step is to get Bunny probably to cook a bit, and then to head out for some ancient dangers. Trustin is going to continue the security and flooring. And given the time on the clock, I'll probably have Bunny go tomorrow morning to the dangers. Trado and the camp. Let me reanalyze this. They want me to destroy a camp of 6 tribespeople, which means that I would probably need to send at least 2 or 3 of my shooters. It wouldn't be easy. So I might pass on that, as it doesn't have an immediate benefit. But I'll consider it for later. Having them color the apparel the color that they prefer. Which has a bit of a mood benefit. You can see in favorite color. Pops up there. And everybody else will be in ideology colors, which is the sort of cotton white. Including the slaves. I definitely don't need any more Tinctoria, so let's shift this back to... What can I grow? Smoke leaf or hops, maybe? Shift it to hops. Let's also add in a fiber corn zone, allowing us to grow some fiber corn in order to help with the lack of wood that we have in our colony. Eventually, I'll probably grow trees, but I don't have the research to grow trees just yet, so fiber corn will have to do. Fiber corn is a new crop introduced in 1.3 that is sort of like corn, but yields a little bit of wood. Not much, so it's really not that efficient. But it's better than nothing. And we have a mad emu coming up from the south. Alright. I did say I wanted Bunny out, but I'm going to have her help to defend against the emu. So, Bunny, you are headed to Ancient Dangers. And the way to do this, and this, I should break this out to its own tutorial at some point, but I'll be explaining it all here and now. You can't settle immediately adjacent to your initial colony. So to find an Ancient Danger, you have to go 2 spots. So here's 2 spots. Select Bunny. She's going to be the one doing it. I'm going to give her 4 meals, 2 Glow World meds in case she gets hurt. And that's it. She doesn't need a bedroll because of our ideology. Welcomes rough living. Because pain is a virtue, so it's unnecessary to have her comfortable. No bedrolls required. I'm probably not going to be out that long either. So it's not important. And then Bunny is going to grab the stuff that she needs to go for the trip and head on out. All right, perfect. There's a whole lot of gazelle, so I'm gonna try to focus on hunting them. Oh, and you can see the remote tables becoming useful. Oh, one thing I meant to do was to have an Arctic invitation. So now that Bunny is away, I'm just gonna kick this off with Sven, because it looks like the expected quality is 100%, even though she won't be in attendance. If I drop Trustin, it's still 98%. I'll take my chances so that Trustin continues to construct. And while they're doing that, Bunny is going to be looking for advanced components from Ancient Dangers. So once you get there, immediately caravan out of the map tile and select the person that is doing the Ancient Danger, and then have them load up what you brought and denote exactly where your exit point is. So my exit point is up here. This is important. So I'm going to mark it as a plan. Next step is to go around the map and claim everything. It doesn't really matter what you're claiming. This has its own benefit. I'll explain in just a minute. While you're claiming everything, just take a look to see if there's any ancient dangers. And honestly, on this map, I don't see any. So there's nothing left to do then. I can double check to add the roof zones. The roof zones would allow me to see ancient dangers a little bit easier. But instead of leaving empty-handed, I think what I'm going to do is have Bunny mine a little bit of plasteel and leave with the plasteel here. I know there's jade and there's probably gold, but I'm just going to leave with the plasteel. And here's the invitation. If this is successful, I get to recruit someone random. Oh, interesting. I have raiders coming in. Huang, a fast-learning body purist. And it was fun. So my development points went from 0 to 1. Well, lucky for me, Bunny is a bit of a bloodlust. She's going to enjoy killing Huang. He has a bad back, and okay, he's already dead. Check her needs. Killed someone. Pretty high. The next is going to be a leader speech. And I'm going to wait for Bunny to get home for that, because it should have a higher success chance if she's present. Now, one could stay here and exploit all the resources, but the thing is, map tiles are a dime a bajillion. So it's not like I need to exploit every single last resource from this map tile before I leave. It's not that important. All desert tiles are going to have a little bit of jade, or a little bit of gold, or compacted machinery steel. I'm just grabbing the plasteel because plasteel's kind of scarce, kind of rare, and I might as well. Because she is coming home now. Look at how big this world is. So now she's, entering Desert Temple, and I'm just going to abandon that area that I searched for an ancient danger. It didn't work out. She's home with 66 plasteel, which is kind of nice. Well, definitely didn't get the advanced components I wanted, so she'll be headed back out soon. Gonna add some lights to help with the speed and ease of getting the crops sown. Right as I install the lights, we have a power feedback. And it blows all my power out. Fun. Alright, Trustin, it looks like all your construction is now done, so let's go ahead and get some billiards and some poker. I have the materials for it, so let's get that going. Alright, Bunny. Once you are recreated, because I don't want her to have a mental break due to lack of recreation, I'm going to send her back out as well to go for more ancient danger hunting. So this time I will go here. Should be really fast. Fabrication is now done. I'm going to jump to advanced fabrication. And then I'm going to want to try to get a fabrication bench as soon as I can, which requires 2 advanced components, which is exactly why Bunny is on the hunt. I'm just not exactly sure how I want to lay these out. Maybe like that eventually. All right. So Bunny's off to try to get advanced components for the fabrication bench. I might want to sub in someone to cook so that we can butcher up these creatures before they spoil. That would be definitely a bit of a waste if I let them spoil. Let's try this again. Before I actually go through the whole process, let me check for ancient dangers. Oh yeah, there's 2 next to one another. Perfect. So, our exit point analysis is the first thing we do. We exit southeast, the very corner of the map here. All right, so now that we have the food and the medicine in the caravan, let's go for a weak point in the wall. Instead of breaking open the ancient danger, I like to peer into them. And when you peer into them, you have one of 3 things that can happen. You can either get insects, and insects will protect their hives that are inside the ancient danger. You can get mechanoids, and mechanoids come of 2 different flavors. You can have passive mechanoids, and these guys are passive mechanoids. By passive, what I mean is they're not actively trying to break their way out. They are just hanging out and going to attack anyone that gets close to them, but they're not hunting me. Or you can have hunter mechanoids, which try to break the walls and hunt you down. And if you do get hunter mechanoids, one of the ways to deal with it is just to claim a whole bunch of garbage, and it will cause those mechanoids to try to destroy the garbage instead of hunting you. So now what I'm going to do is try to wait for these mechs to vacate the area so I can open up the hermetic crate and steal the pulsar. Don't fight them unless I have to, you know? Now, if they're camping where you want to be, just be patient. Most of the time, being patient will work. I don't necessarily want a Scyther running after me. Now, as a jogger, I can outrun it. It moves at 4.7, and I move at 5. So there's not really a possibility of the Scyther chasing me and catching me unless I'm sloppy. That's, I guess, important to note. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the Scyther to move out of position so I can grab the stuff. Oh, no, it's coming out. Okay. Well, let's shoot it then. Killing the Scyther will make this process a lot easier. I just have to kite and fight. So I've shot its legs, and it's already very slow, so I just have to make sure it doesn't catch me. Now, the thing is, as it becomes darker, nighttime that is, it won't be affected by movement speed, whereas I will. And we have the Thug Crew. A rather large raid coming to hit my home, so I might actually want to send Bunny home for that. So I'm going to work my way to the southeast corner and just work, you know, come back later for this this ancient danger. The security of home comes first. So, Thug Crew, they're standing around. They're obviously going to come. The type of raid they were is a prepare a while normal raid, so they're going to come from this direction. So what I'm going to do is preemptively install my turrets so that the turrets, all the turrets can help me during this defense. So Zleb, Trustin, Sven, Zleb. I'm going to be moving those turrets. Bunny is so almost done with that scyther. Charge rifles are great weapons to fight scythers with because they have high pen. Alright. I'm going to send her home out of an abundance of caution, but I doubt she'll even get there in time. So these turrets don't have a way to turn off because I've... work because, you know, they're temporary. The Bunny's on her way home to try to help defend. And I also have combat command. Ideally, I wanted to hit a leader speech, so I probably will still leader speech. Because I'm not that scared of this raid. Oh yeah, here comes Bunny. Perfect. And let's get everybody out. The slaves will stand over here. They don't have shield belts yet, because I don't have shield belt tech. And then we will be behind the walls to defend our colony. And Bunny is getting here maybe at the tail end of this fight. Everybody I can capture, I will capture. Okay, here they are. And these slaves are going to try to repair. Man, there's a lot of people to capture. I'm excited. Count me excited. The other issue is the where. So I think what I'm going to do, sorry to Zleb, or maybe even a Bunny. Bunny, temporarily, you're going to exist in the workshop so that I can turn the workshop into a temporary prison. Or her old bedroom, rather, into a temporary prison. Because there's going to be a lot of prisoners here. So, there we go. I've successfully defended. These turrets are going to be installed back to where they're supposed to. Nobody in the colony got hurt. And let's see here. I am going to turn this into prisoners. Capture. 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 And it looks like some of them are actually fleeing into the mech cluster, which is really strange. Oh, I wasn't alone. There was actually an eastern group. So hold on. My shooters are going to come east. I didn't notice that there were two groups or something. So there's Houston here, who might be a problem. Oh man, that was just low-hanging fruit. Capture and capture. I don't want him setting fire to my farm or anything like that. Yeah, he's going after my lights. All right, he also lived. I don't care who they are. They're all getting captured. So, Sven, grab Bauman, and that was a pretty good raid. Whole lot of prisoners. And that's what's going to allow me to, I mean, for each prisoner, I get to convert them, and then I also get to imprison them. So there's potentially a whole lot of benefit to doing this. Trustin, you are a bit of a doctor, so I'm going to have you tend. And then all of these prisoners here are going to be tended with nomads, and then converted. I also want to throw light in there, and try to make it a little bit pleasant-ish for them. Not that great, but pleasant-ish, so that they're easier to deal with. And I'm going to tend to the ones bleeding out first. Sven is bringing in the last one, and then Zleb, you start to reinstall the turrets. In fact, I'm going to have Slave 2 and Bunny do it as well, so I'm not paying for the turrets to be turned on. No, they brought in some drugs for me. Thank you for the flake. All right, soon we're going to have light in here, making tending a little bit easier. Don't capture. So this is going to be Bunny's bed. Sorry to have her demoted. It should be Zleb, but she's going to be heading out soon anyway. The turrets are being installed in the correct spots. Another thing that I wanted to queue up was some cloth armchairs for poker. Not a high priority, but something nice to have. All right, Zleb, I'm going to have you help to clean up some of this blood as it increases the infection chance. Oh, I am actually out of power. Let me turn things off that I don't need. I guess, was my power cut? No, it wasn't cut. I just legitimately ran out. Okay. Unfortunate timing. Okay, so Grief is fully patched. Gegout is he's not bleeding anymore, so let's switch. And then all of these prisoners here are going to be set to convert. And then another thing that I want to do is set them up with simple meals, so that they are cheaper to feed. Feed them potatoes. Slave, come in here and clean up some blood. The 10 quality dropped tremendously when I ran out of power, which is unfortunate. And now that all the tending is done, the light comes back on. That's just the way it works sometimes. All right, well, that's not a terrible bedroom. It's mediocre compared to decent, so it's not that much of a downgrade. Now, what about keeping any of them? Obviously, Pyromaniac, Cannibal, no. Jealous, no. This person isn't capable of much. They would make for a very terrible slave. This person's lazy, pretty bad slave as well. They're all bad slaves. I really do hope that a royal favor, honor caravan comes and I can donate them. Because they are... not a single one of them are decent. Just by chance. All right, Bunny. I'm going to have you cook because I'm a little bit low on fine meals. And there's 4 more mouths to feed. And we're being hit by a solar flare. Lucky me. Let's make a point of hauling this bison wool in. In fact, let me do a quick caravanning for it because the wool is going to be a pretty good material to have on hand when we're trying to keep people warm. And it seems like it's been ignored for a while, so. There. The whole cargo drop now hauled in with slab. Done. All right. Bunny obviously can't cook because of the power outage, but this is about all the time I have. Thank you for watching episode 7 of the Archotechs, Fabrication. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to chat about RimWorld or the Architects in real time with me, Rhadamant.com and the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope to catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.